Hello, welcome back. Today we will be covering a few poems by Emily Dickinson, which you've probably heard of, even if you haven't read her work. She is, an American poet, pretty well known, period. I don't know quite I don't know very much about her, frankly, but I know she's famous, and I need to read these, so there will also be an additional poem, which you'll have to stay to the end to find out. It's not by Emily Dickinson. It's pretty cool like that. But anyways, we might as well get started. So, our first one. Tell all the truth, but tell it slant. Tell all the truth, but tell it slant. Success in circuit lies, too bright for our informed delight. The truth's superb surprise, as lightning to the children eased, with explanation kind. The truth must dazzle gradually, or every man be blind. Armchair analysis. I don't know when was the first circuit made. Let's find out. Much later. Although, technically, the first battery was made in the 1800s, so 1801. Oh wait, no, that's a different thing entirely. Teehee. Well, she probably wasn't talking about that, but maybe. It's my reading as a modern day author. Reader rather. Is that's about, the rapid advancement of technology, that if you go too quickly, to simplify it, you get burned at the stake, and everyone's gonna go crazy because it's too much. It's too much. You're going too fast. Who's to say? I'm not. I'm not very good at analyzing poetry, and I'm not invested enough in the poetry, because I'm not invested enough in poetry, period, to do the truly deep analysis. Anyways, moving on. I stepped from plank to plank. I stepped from plank to plank, a slow and cautious way. The stars about my head I felt, about my feet the sea. I knew not but the next would be my final inch. This gave me that precarious gait some call experience. It's interesting. It almost reads like confronting mortality to some degree, dwelling on the future and everything that's come thus far, and a lot more probably. Each plank representing some part of life, perhaps just people at large. I do find it curious that, and this is the issue of this particular medium, plank is capitalized. Just P, of course, not the whole word, but, as if it's a proper noun. Now, so are stars, head, feet, sea, gate, experience. So a lot of words, though. And many words were also capitalized in the last poem. So it probably doesn't mean it's a proper noun, but it's something to note. Anyways, next we have the brain is wider than the sky. The brain is wider than the sky, for put them side by side, the one the other will contain with ease, and you sighed. The brain is deeper than the sea, for hold them blue to blue, the one the other will absorb as sponges buckets do. The brain is just the weight of God, for heft them pound for pound, and they would differ, if they do, as syllable from sound. I mean, I wouldn't call that a simple poem, but compared to many others, you can at least get the gist of it on a kind of surface level, which I quite appreciate. But, I don't know. I don't have too much to dig in there, looking it over. So we'll move on. She dealt her pretty words like blades. She dealt her pretty words like blades, how glittering they shone, and every one unbared a nerve or wantoned with a bone. She never deemed she hoped that is not Steele's affair. A vulgar grimace in the flesh, how ill the creatures bear. To ache is human, not polite. The film upon the eye, mortality's old custom, just locking up to die. Okay. I think this feels like a kind of a metatextual poem, perhaps. Um, you know, many such cases, right? Of writing about writing. About someone writing. Not steals a fair, a vocal grimace in the flesh. How ill the creatures bear. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know this one. Even on a but surface level, I don't fully understand it beyond that first stanza. Good job, Emily Dickinson. You stumped me. Okay, we'll move on. Wild nights, wild nights. Wild nights, wild nights. Were I with thee, wild nights should be our luxury. Futile the winds, to a heart in port, done with the compass, done with the chart. Rowing in Eden, ah, the sea. Might I but more tonight in thee. This almost gives me Great Gatsby vibes somehow. Kind of the, you know, to the wind with caring about, you know, uh, monetary things. Just live a life, sail the sea at night, enjoy yourself. I mean, makes sense. uh, it notably, in this particular print that I have of it, it what's the term? It uh it asks the question, what might it mean to be done with the trout? So I very much think that this is, at least metaphorically, saying screw it. Because the chart, at least to me, that kind of means map. I think that is what it means just directly, like not even I'm interpreting. And so whether it's literally like, let's get on a boat and sail away and ditch the map, just go wherever the winds take us, basically. Whether it's literal or metaphorical. Either way, I like that one. It's got a good vibe to it. Next, we have My life had stood a loaded gun. My life had stood a loaded gun in corners till a day the owner passed, identified, and carried me away. And now we roam in sovereign woods, and now we hunt the doe, sorry. And now we hunt the doe, and every time I speak for him, the mountains straight reply. And do I smile such cordial light upon the valley glow? It is as a Vesuvian face had let its pleasures through. And when at night, a good day done, I guard my master's head. I guard my master's head. 'Tis better than the elder duck's deep pillow to have shared. To foe of his I'm a deadly foe, none stir the second time, on whom I lay a yellow eye, or an emphatic thumb, though I than he may longer live, he longer must than I, for I have but the power to kill, without the power to die. I think there's a lot to dig into there. My life had stood a loaded gun, obviously, brings to mind danger, a dangerous person, dangerous life, perhaps, but not shot, not finished. In corners till a day. I don't know if this doesn't matter if I'm right. My modern interpretation of in corners, like, you're living in corners, either it could just mean kind of a cramped lifestyle, but it also brings to mind, like, prostitutes. I doubt it is that, honestly. But perhaps, because the whole the Ono passed, identified, and carried me away part, if we wanted to go with this theory, that could be a pimp. But I don't know if I want to get into that any further. But so someone took her in for one reason or another. And then roaming the woods, hunting for doe, looking for prey effectively. Almost complicit in whatever is being done. It really does read strangely well as a sex worker being picked up by someone and then working as almost a recruiter. We hunt the doe. We look for new people. I don't fully know how the mountain straight reply feeds into that. I mean, okay, thinking metaphorically, it's like, you hunt the woods. Every time I speak for him, the mountain straight reply. So, I mean, mountains don't speak, so it could mean that there is no apply, effectively. Something loud, something tall, distant, perhaps, spiky. I don't know. That one's hard to factor in because I don't really understand what it means if I were to take it literally. Do I smell such cordial light? Like a kind of a peace amongst everything else, all the hardship of this lifestyle. And when at night, oh good day done, I caught my master's head. It's better than... Is that an eye? I think that's an eye. Eidoducks. What is an eidoducks? Eidoduck. It's a bird. It's a duck. It's a duck I've never seen. I wonder if it's mentioned that they appeared in Dickinson's Wikipedia page, or rather appeared in one of Dickinson's poems. I don't think so. I guess Dickinson. No. Not in the Wikipedia page. How pitiful. Anyways. So, you know, hypothetically being a hunting rifle, effectively. She goes home with him, and he's, in some sense, grateful to be with him, rather than the eidoducks eat the pillow, which is effectively the dote, you know, to have shared. So that almost makes me think that almost makes me think this is maybe a bit more macabre than recruitment in terms of prey. Maybe it's literally like killing. That's certainly the implication of what, like, why would that be better if they were recruited? That must mean they weren't recruited, they were just, you know, whatever the eidoduck is, it's killed, you know. It's better to be alive with this person than out there. I lay a yellow eye. I don't entirely know what that means. Emphatic thumb. And then, yeah, it just seems like it could be very macabre, depending on your interpretation. But regardless, you know, it's someone in some sort of relationship with someone who is more abusive, in some sense, whether directly to them or just towards others is unclear. And I don't know, but regardless, you know, after the owner's gone, then the narrator is left alone, kind of aimless. And so they want to die before the owner because they can't really understand how to live. That one got me surprisingly deeply. Okay, one more from Dickinson. After great pain, a formal feeling comes. After great pain, a formal feeling comes. The nerves sit ceremonious like tombs. The stiff heart questions, was it he that that, that ball? The stiff heart questions, was it he that ball? And yesterday, or centuries ago, centuries before, the feet mechanical go round of ground or air or aught, a wooden way, regardless groan, a quartz contentment like a stone. This is the hour of lead, remembered if outlived, as freezing persons recollect the snow. First chill, then stupor, then the letting go. Yeah, it's a bit too buried for me. Maybe I just used all my brain juices on the last one, but I do not feel intrigued to dig into that one. Anyways, and now, it's guess what? Time for the bonus poem. It's time for one by Billy Collins, titled "Taking Off Emily Dickinson's Clothes." First her tippet made of tulle, easily lifted off her shoulders and laid on the back of a wooden chair, and her bonnet undone, the bow undone with a light pull forward. Then the long white dress, a more complicated matter, with mother of pearl, buttons down the back, so tiny and numerous that it takes forever before my hands can part the fabric, like a swimmer's dividing water, and slip inside. You will want to know that she was standing by an open window in an upstairs bedroom, motionless, a little wide-eyed, looking out at the orchard below, the white dress puddled at her feet on the wide, bold, hardwood floor. The complexity of women's undergarments in 19th century America is not to be waved off, and I proceeded like a polar explorer through clips and clasps and moorings, catches, straps, and whalebone stays, sailing toward the iceberg of her nakedness. Later I wrote in a notebook, it was like riding a swan into the night. But of course I cannot tell you everything. The way she closed her eyes to the orchard, how her hair tumbled free of its pins, how there were sudden dashes whenever we spoke. What I can tell you is, it was terribly quiet in Amherst that Sabbath afternoon. Nothing but a carriage passing the house, a fly buzzing in the window pane. So I could plainly hear her inhale when I undid the very top hook and eye fastener of her corset, and I could hear her sigh when finally it was unloosened. The way some readers sigh when they realize that hope has feathers, that reason is a plank, that life is a loaded gun that looks right at you with a yellow eye. Ah, it ties back into all the others. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that one. But it sure was a poem. Let's look into Billy Collins a little to add this. Like he is still alive. He's old though. He's old. He's 85 years old, born in 1941. He looked pretty good in 2015 though. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like he's a poet. Crazy. I don't know if he's done anything super important. I can't tell off a glance. But yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, thank you for watching. I don't have a link for this, unfortunately, because it was uploaded privately. But I'm sure you can find all of his poems for free online if you look them up. So that's that. Thank you for watching once more, and I accidentally tabbed on Minecraft, so yeah, I'll see you next time.